Right, so today I wanted to talk about an important aspect in the crypto space, and that is, does it need to be regulated, right? And the question is, okay, well, in my opinion, no, but I think it's inevitable we get regulations. So the question is, um, given that it's inevitable that we get regulations, um, what sorts of regulations would be reasonable, or what are the ones that aren't going to be reasonable? Um, and you have to break it down coin by coin because again, when people hear crypto, a lot of people think of it as being all one and of the same, when in reality there's lots that are, even just within the top 5 to 10 coins, there's a lot that are completely different. Like, the use case for them is completely different. You have stable coins, which are ones that are supposed to be, again, stable, sometimes not, and I'll get into that. And the whole point of stable coins is to, um, commence transactions, right? And they go back and forth, and typically a lot of times they're used for, cashing out, or if you're going to borrow money using crypto, you can use it with stable coins as well. There's a myriad of things you can use them for, but again, the use case for Bitcoin is also different than a lot of other coins, because a lot of other coins exist solely as pump and dumps, for lack of a better way of putting it, or their argument will be, oh, it's super fast transactions, or it's decentralized, or whatever, or it's an ETH killer or a Bitcoin killer. But the reality is that, again, typically and then there's ones that are used for NFTs as well. But again, there's Bitcoin, which is, again, there's the coins that are decentralized, and again, most of them that claim to be aren't. But there's the decentralized ones that exist as a store of value or for privacy purposes, which in my opinion are the best ones, and probably the only ones you should own, or at the very least should be the vast majority of the ones you own, again, in my opinion. And then there's the ETHs and the Cardanos that, again, the use case is smart contracts, NFTs, and or faster than Bitcoin, which again sometimes isn't true, or cheaper than Bitcoin, which again sometimes isn't true. And then there's the stable coins, right? And again, the question is, oh, well, a lot of people lost all this money with Luna and Terra, therefore, we got to regulate it. But it's like, um, people lose money again with stocks all the time. I mean, people lose money, and a lot of people lose a lot of money with scams and stuff. So again, there really is no need for regulation, because the whole idea of crypto is that it's decentralized. But again, when it comes to stable coins, it would be really easy, like really easy, and that all you would do is say, okay, you just need to be have an independent audit every quarter, saying, okay, you have a market cap of $1 billion or $10 billion or whatever the number is. Prove you have the reserves, and what is it invested in as well, because that's arguably the most important. It is the most important thing, is that if it's invested in Bitcoin, which is very volatile, or stocks or something, that you're going to run into a lot of trouble, because inevitably there will be a big drawdown, right? So again, it would have to be in cash or T bills, right? That those are basically the only options, right? Um, so again, like stable coins would be really easy. Again, do I think it needs to be done? No, but that would be the very easy thing. And it's something that really annoys me, is there's people like, oh, well, you can't invest in crypto because there's no regulation and it's so confusing. But it's like, it would really be the simplest thing, like the simplest thing. And again, some of these stable coins, I believe, have had audits. Now, again, are they done on a regular basis? No. I mean, the biggest one is Tether. The problem with Tether is that I don't think it actually is fully backed. Again, I'm not 100% sure on that. Again, Tether, $73 billion market cap. The biggest one that I'm aware of that I'm pretty sure has been audited is USDC. Again, $53 billion market cap. I believe the Gemini one has been. That one's got actually only 257 million, so that one's pretty tiny actually. So the biggest one that I'm aware of um, would be USDC. Again, if we go down the list of coins by market cap, again, we have Tether, and then we have USDC, which again are both quote unquote stable coins. The next one that I'm aware of, I don't even know. You'd have to go down the list quite a ways here. And again, a lot of these ones that claim to be quote unquote stable coins are not actually quote unquote stable coins. So again, the question is, does it need to be regulated? No, it really doesn't. But again, when it comes to stable coins, it would be really easy. Like people, if we want to prevent this thing that happened with Luna, again, in my opinion, if people are dumb enough to invest in this stuff, then let them, right? Then let them. Like it's the same thing with stocks. There is nothing stopping you from taking your life savings, or at the very least, your maxing out your TFSA or your what is it in the States, 401k, or they have a few different ones there, but there's nothing stopping you from putting it all in penny stocks or some leveraged ETF. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So why does there need to be anything stopping you from investing in any crypto for that matter? The problem is, I think that too many people that get into the space fall for this get rich quick crap, right? Um, when in reality, you're gonna get. I mean, in my opinion, it's very likely you're gonna get rich if you have your money in the bitcoins of the world. Again, I think Bitcoin should be the biggest holding. I've yet to hear a good argument against that, simply because the way the crypto space goes, Bitcoin goes over the long run. Again, ETH, I understand having a little bit, simply because, again, I think that as long as the crypto space goes around, ETH will be around. They just have too much of a moat, even though, again, they're not really decentralized. Again, um, they're run by, one guy can really make the decisions. Again, same goes for Cardano. Again, Binance Coin is a coin run by an exchange. XRP is terrible, right? I mean, they're being sued by the SEC right now. They had a massive, insiders made a lot of money off it. Again, same goes for Solana. Solana is arguably the worst, right? I mean, they had like half the coins went to insiders, right? So, um, again, the only ones going down the list, I mean, you have the privacy coins, the Moneros. I think there's a very good use case for those for obvious reasons. Um, Simply for obvious reasons I don't even need to go into. But and again, I understand having a little bit in in quote unquote stable coins, but again, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? There is no such thing as a free lunch, and that goes for stocks and everything too. Again, I talk a lot about how people think bonds are quote unquote safe, but the reality is that they're not. Again, look at how bonds have performed over the last year to date. They're down almost as much as the S&P is, right? So again, like this idea that there's quote unquote safe investments, it's like no, there isn't. It's nowadays it's really pick your poison on which risky asset you want to go after. Now, there's obviously some that are less risky than others. I wouldn't even claim that Bitcoin's quote unquote safe by any means, but in my opinion, the question is, what does the upside outweigh the downside, right? And that's why, again, I'm a fan of Bitcoin. But again, getting back to the main point, does it need to be regulated? No. If it does need to be regulated, they're not going to be able to do it with a lot of these coins, right? If they want to regulate ETH, they can do it. If they want to regulate stable coins, they can do it. If they want to regulate Binance, XRP, Cardano, Solana, they can do it. And this is why, again, if they want to regulate Bitcoin, there's nothing they can really do, because there's nobody to go after, right? There's nobody to go after, and that is why Bitcoin is the best coin by far, right? And again, I think the privacy coins would be that in the next conversation. Um, but again, if it's going to be regulated, simply just make when it comes to the stable coins, simply just allow them to be audited. And for the ones that don't want to be audited, you just tell people, okay, you're really risking things here. And if they still want to take that risk, then just let them. Like, who cares? It's not that big of a deal. If people want to take large amounts of risk, again, that's their choice, right? Just let them. That's kind of the whole point of cryptocurrencies. But again, governments, again, the space is going to grow over time. And again, eventually governments are going to be like, yeah, we have to regulate it because we want to invest in it. And if it's not regulated, we can't invest in it. So that's where the metal is going to meet the road there, right? So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up today. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. If you haven't already, check out those links below. Follow me on those other platforms, and stay tuned for more.